Hello everyone, this is Tom Hudson with IBM, and today I'm talking about Continuous Release Deployment Plan.
On the Continuous Release main page, I select the release I created earlier. A release is a container for deployment plans. On the release page, I can manage deployments and create new ones. For the demonstration, I select the deployment plan I created earlier.
A deployment plan is a container for tasks. Tasks define the activities your team performs to run a software deployment. There are several task types. Manual tasks can represent anything related to a deployment, such as taking a server offline. Manual tasks, as the name implies, are started manually. Auto tasks start automatically as soon as they are eligible to run. Task eligibility is determined by the deployment plan's execution pattern. The default pattern is sequential, which means tasks become eligible one after another in the order that they are listed in the plan. After the first task is resolved, the second task can start, and so on. You can modify the pattern in several ways. Combine tasks into groups with the parallel execution pattern. With task in a parallel pattern group can start in any order and can run simultaneously. You can also embed groups within other groups. And finally, you can define task dependency. Dependent tasks cannot start until all their prerequisite tasks are complete. With these tools, you have complete control over your plan's workflow. As you can see, the demo plan has several manual tasks. Each task is on its own row. The task toolbar provides actions for most task-related activity. The action column displays the available task actions. I can start a deployment by starting any of the eligible tasks. Because the plan has a default execution pattern, only the first task is eligible. Before moving on, let's change the execution pattern to parallel for these tasks. I select the task I intend to group, which is all of them. Next, with the task selected, I use the parallel group action. The tasks are combined into a parallel group, which is indicated on the group select bar. Manual tasks, such as those in our deployment plan, can be started in any order. Because these tasks are now eligible to run, I can start the deployment by starting any one of them. Before starting the deployment, we'll add another task to the plan and modify the execution pattern once again. I click Create Task. In the dialog box, I enter a name for a task. Manual is default type, which is what I want for the demo. I don't think we need a description for this task. In the duration field, I estimate this task will take 5 minutes. After saving the task is inserted at the bottom of the deployment plan. At this point, any of the tasks in the parallel group can be started, but the new task isn't eligible to run. Let's move the new task to the beginning of the plan and see how that affects the execution pattern. We select the group by selecting the group select bar. Next, we use the cut action and then position the insertion point where we want it after the new task. Finally, we use the paste action. The parallel group now follows the sequential pattern task, and therefore the tasks in the parallel group are now ineligible to run. Before starting the deployment, let's take a moment to review some other options. Let's add a tag to the last task we created. I click on the task to open the Edit Task dialog box. For demo purpose, I'll simply name it the new tag blue. Notice that the tag is displayed on the task row. We use the version tab to manage tags. If I clear the blue tag, tasks with the cleared tag are not applicable for the deployment. Non-applicable tasks cannot be started during a deployment, which means the tasks in the parallel group are now eligible to run. I'm going to revert the last change because I want all the tasks available for the demo. I use the Change History tab to revert the plan to the earlier stage. The Change History tab is where all plan edits are maintained. I click Restore for the last edit. Let's confirm that the tag is applied once again. Yes, the tag is active. And because the tag is active, the first task is the only one eligible to run. All right, let's start the deployment. I start the deployment by starting the plan's only eligible task. Notice that both the task and the plan status changes to In Progress. New buttons are available for the started task. I can complete, fail, or skip a started task. I cannot start other tasks until I resolve the task by selecting one of these statuses or actions. Okay, I complete the task, which now has a status of complete. Now that this task is resolved, the tasks in the parallel group become eligible. The tasks in the group were auto types like Urban Code Deploy or Continuous Delivery Pipeline tasks. They would all start automatically. As you can see, I can start the task in the parallel group in any order, and there's no requirement that I resolve a parallel task before starting another one. All right, all tasks are resolved and the plan has a status of done.